Howdy interweb sports fans, welcome to yet another episode of Padded Up.
And welcome to our new sponsor TKO, who provided us with this week's clothing. I'm Fish.
And I'm 5am. Hop on down to TKO, Adelaide's only home of MMA clothing with exclusive designs direct from the States.
On this week's episode, the two most consistent teams in the league battle it off in the early game.
And in the late game, a preview of what we may see in the semi-final for the season 2010.
You're watching Padded Up. Game number 1 saw the two most consistent teams continue the trend as the Eagles took down the Spartans. The scoreline though doesn't reflect the fight the Spartans had during the game. Failure to convert good drives into points and costly mistakes is what killed them. The Eagles on the other hand didn't struggle to score at all. They scored at least one touchdown every quarter and played good defense throughout. The first and second quarters were both stalemates as both teams struggled to control the ball, both committing turnovers and taking sacks. As I said before, the Spartans showed good offense but just couldn't make anything of it. In the third, the Eagles got rolling with a number of good plays and two major scores, but once the fourth came around, the Spartans woke up and started making plays on both the defensive and offensive side of the ball. Every time the Spartans came close though, the Eagles answered with a strong defensive effort, preventing any score. Eagles lock up top spot with yet another win, 38-0.
On to game number 2, and since the Eagles have clenched a grand final spot, this game was a semi-finals preview of things to come. In the first quarter, things seemed pretty even. Oilers started with good field position off the opening kick, but their drive was short-lived when they fumbled and Chiefs recovered. The Chiefs' initial drive not lasting long as the Oilers answered back with an intercept. Oilers couldn't come up with the goods, and it was the Chiefs to start on the board with the TD through the air. In the second, Oilers' offense fumbled early on and Chiefs seized the opportunity and turned the drive into a 14-point lead with a TD along the ground. Oilers' offense lifted the game and had a couple of definitive plays to result in a touchdown through the air. Towards the end of the second, Chiefs had an excellent drive utilising their plays and time management, but an Oilers defense and penalties held them off from scoring again before the break. In the beginning of the third quarter, Chiefs started off with a good drive, but an Oilers defense stopped it with an intercept. Shortly after, Chiefs turned the game around again with another intercept. Following that, Chiefs managed to grab another TD. In the fourth, it was the Chiefs again to pick up a touchdown, again running the ball in, but failing on the pat, where the Oilers took the ball for a bit of a run downfield. The final score saw the Chiefs win, 27 to an Oilers 7. If this was a preview of the semi-finals for 2010, then we are going to see a pretty close game on the field, but the scoreboard may tell a different story.
And those are the results of this week's action.
With week 9 over, all the places are now locked up. The Eagles have secured top spot, while both the Chiefs and Oilers will meet in the semi-final. The Razorbacks and Spartans now have only pride to play for, so let's hope they put up a fight.
With the last round around the corner, we will see the Oilers looking to keep the Spartans winless and get ahead of steam into the semi, while the long-time rivalry between the Razorbacks and Eagles will commence as the Eagles try for their first ever perfect season.
Once again, thanks to TKO for these fantastic tops. I'm 5am.
And I'm Fish.
You've been Padded Up.